Surface area is a really important property of materials for plenty of reasons, but the one that I'm particularly interested in is how it affects the removal of pollutants from water. As many of you probably know, humankind has not been particularly respectful of our natural water bodies. For centuries, we've been dumping waste into or near water bodies, and this has led to all sorts of nasty things being present in our waterways. This can wreak havoc on the environment, as well as make it difficult to provide clean drinking water. For more information on this, see the video in the corner or links in the description. One way that we can use to clean up water is adsorbents. Adsorbents are solid substances that we can put into contaminated water that chemical pollutants will stick to the surface of. How well an adsorbent works depends in part on its surface area. The more surface an adsorbent has, the more area there is for pollutants to stick to. To get the most out of an adsorbent, you want to go small. The smaller the better. This is so you can get the most surface area out of your material for the least amount of material used. However, making adsorbent particles really small presents a bit of an issue because at current we lack a good method for measuring the surface area of small particles in water. This makes the surface area of small particles in water an important unknown. Hello, my name's Sam Mackay, and I'd like to tell you about a proposed method that might allow scientists to find this important unknown. This possible solution has been investigated by a group of scientists at the University of Sydney. To explain their proposed method for finding this important unknown, I want you to think back to the last time you overloaded your arms with supermarket bags, because you were determined that you could bring in all the shopping in one run. I want you to focus on how you move when your arms are at the maximum capacity of shopping bags. Keeping that in mind, let's go back to small adsorbent particles. Now, adsorbents don't go shopping, nor do they have arms, but if we stick molecules to their surface, the charge of these molecules affects how the small particles move in a similar way to how the weight of all that shopping affects how you move. The good thing is, we already have a way to measure small particle movement in water. It uses a piece of equipment with a very sci-fi sounding name. It's called a zetasizer. This piece of equipment would allow scientists to measure the movement of small particles while they add molecules that will stick to their surface. The more molecules that they add, the more the movement will be changed, and this continues until the small particle reaches its maximum capacity. At this point, theoretically, there are molecules covering the entire surface of the small particle. This means that no more will stick, and the movement should stop changing. This allows scientists to work out how many molecules can stick to the surface of a small particle, and this, plus information that we already know about the size of molecules, should allow scientists to calculate the surface area of small particles in water, our important unknown. Now, this work is definitely only preliminary, and there are still some questions to be answered, like how do other factors affect small particle movement? And do molecules always stick right next to each other, or do they sometimes take up more space than their size might suggest? Nonetheless, this research is a step in the right direction that might allow scientists to make better decisions about what adsorbents to use when removing pollutants from water, so that we can start undoing some of the damage that centuries of disrespect to our waterways has done, all by finding an important unknown.